Part 16. Okay, part 16, we're still with unions. So question, can the employer file a cancellation of registration of the union? Assuming that there is a flaw or mistake in the union's registration. Example, kulang yung number of members nila. Can the employer attack that flaw or mistake, and can it file a petition before the Department of Labor and Employment, a petition to cancel its registration? Pwede bang gawin ng employer yan? Sabihin niya, ano yan kulang naman yung mga tao niyan, o yung mga tao niyan hindi naman dapat yan members ng union. So there's a major flaw or mistakes in its registration. So pa-cancel natin. Dole, cancelin mo nga yung registration nila. So can the employer do that? Can the employer file that petition? The answer is a resounding no. An employer is not a party in interest to a union's registration. It can be interpreted as an unfair labor practice. Nakikialam ka sa union, hindi mo naman dapat pakialaman. Magic words, the rights and conditions of membership in the union are the sole and exclusive concerns of its members. Style ito ng mga employer pag may petition, for example, certification of election. So nakikialam sila yung nagpapile ng petition for cancellation of the union's registration. So what happens if indeed the employer files such petition for the cancellation of registration of the union? So in case such a petition is filed, sabi nga natin, ginagawa yan ng mga employer pag merong pending petition for certification of election. In case such a petition is filed, will it suspend a pending petition for certification election? Mayroong certification election petition, ang ginawa ng employer, okay, file tayo ng petition for cancellation, atakihin natin yung nagpapacertify na yan. Tapos sasabihin niya na pag hindi yan registered, hindi dapat matuloy yung certification election. Will it suspend the petition for certification election? Again, the answer is a resounding no. The petition for certification election will push through. Ang logical reason yan is that otherwise it will be very easy to suspend a certification election by the easy move of filing a petition for cancellation of registration. To repeat, magic words, the rights and conditions of membership in the union are the sole and exclusive concern of the union and its members. The employer has nothing to do with it. So let's take the discussion further. What if it is an employee who files a petition for cancellation of registration? Will it now suspend the petition for certification election? So, empleyado na yung nag-file, sole and exclusive concern niya yung rights and conditions in a union, so pwede niyang i-file yan. But will it suspend an existing or a current petition for certification election? Suspend meaning it will be considered a prejudicial question. Will it not result on a situation where the petition for cancellation will be resolved first before the petition for before the petition for certification election? No, by express provision of the law, hindi yan magiging prejudicial question. Hindi niyan isususpend yung current petition for certification election. Pero what if nanalo sila sa certification election, sila ngayon na-certify na exclusive bargaining unit dun sa kumpanya, nanalo, and then later on na-cancel yung registration nila, example for lack of sufficient membership, what will happen? No, even if the union wins in the registration, sabi ng batas, under Article 246, maski na sila naman nanalo at meron talagang ground to cancel the registration, maka-cancel pa rin. So, mananalo sila, pero kung later on talagang merong problema, may flaws or may mistake sa kanilang registration, maka-cancel sila. So, mawawala yung pagiging exclusive bargaining unit nila doon sa kumpanya. Mawawala sila. They will be obliterated. Siguro magkakaroon ulit ng another union who must file a petition for certification election. Ganun yun eh. Kasi nga, ang iniiwasan ng ano dito, ng batas is that yung mga style na pag merong petition for certification election, guguluhin ng filing ng certificate of cancellation, ituloy niyo yung certification election. Kung merong valid grounds to cancel the registration, edi ika-cancel. Magkakaroon ulit ng certification election on another union. Pero hindi pwedeng gawin yan panggulo to suspend the petition for certification election. Kasi nga yan yung mga style ng employer o style ng mga minority members ng ibang union para magulo yung petition for certification election or para masuspend. Now, what about kung siyempre ang petition for certification, petition for cancellation of registration, nagtatagal yan eh. What about kung nagkaroon na ng petition for certification election, nanalo na yung union, they already asked for a collective bargaining agreement, and na-approve na yung kanilang CBA. Tapos na-cancel yung kanilang registration. What happens next? What happens to a CBA which was concluded by a union whose registration was cancelled? Well, again, by express provision of the law, nothing. The cancellation will not invalidate an otherwise valid CBA which the union entered into before the cancellation. Na-cancel yan, na-cancel yung registration nila after the CBA was validly entered. The cancellation of the registration will have no retroactive effect. Meaning, lahat ng ginawa ng union na yan, bago ma-cancel yung registration nila, will be valid. It has a color of authority, it has a color of legality. Kung na-cancel man yung registration nila, it will not retroact back to the day of the registration. So kung meron ng CBA, tuloy yung CBA. So what is the basic policy in union? Majority vote, it's a democratic organization. The members, not the officers or directors, are the governing body. Yun ang yun ang totoo niyan. Sa isang union, hindi yung mga opisyal, hindi yung mga board of directors, board of trustees ang governing body. Kaya nga mahirap talaga ang magpatakbo ng union. Yung mga ibang kumpanya, nagtatayo sila ng friendly union. Akala nila yung meron silang mga empleyado na magagaling magsalita, magagaling mangumbinsi. Sasabihin nila, dahil tao ko tong mga tao, sige, mga boys, magtayo kayo ng union and ipa-certify nyo. Akala kasi nila na pag nagkaroon ng union, nung mga bataan nila na makokontrol na nila yung union. Well, pwede rin, nangyayari rin yun. Diba? But again, the basic policy in union is that the members, not the officers or board of directors, are the governing body. It is the members who decide by majority vote. So pwedeng itinayo yan ng mga bataan ng mga employer nung sila ang naging opisyal, pero kung ano ang pagpapatakbo ng union na yan, it will be decided by a majority vote. Basic rights of a union. Ang basic rights of a union, dalawa. Well, first, pinaka-basic right, is to represent the members on collective bargaining negotiations. Yan ang isa. Sila yung they will be asking the company, the employer, o mag-collective bargaining negotiation tayo. So, yun ang pinaka-basic. Sila yung they will be the one to ask the company, magkaroon tayo ng CBA at mag-negotiate tayo. Kasi kung ikaw, mag-isang empleyado ka lang, sabihin mo doon sa boss mo, doon sa employer mo, can we negotiate for the upliftment of my of my salaries and benefits? Pwede bang mag-negotiate? Hindi, you cannot do that. Mag-isa ka lang. Pero kung isang buo kayo, isang union kayo, certified kayo as the sole and exclusive bargaining agent, yan, you can force. You can and you can force the company na let's negotiate for a CBA. Pag hindi sila pumayag, that is ULP, that is an unfair labor practice. Remember that a union, yun ang purpose ng union to represent the members on collective bargaining negotiations, to ask for a collective bargaining agreement. And nobody else in the company can ask for a CBA except that union that won the certification election. By winning the certification election, they become the sole and exclusive bargaining agent in that company where they won the said certification election. So sila lang ang pwedeng mag-ask niyan. Yun ang pinaka-basic role ng union sa isang kumpanya, CBA. Another is that they can file a case in behalf of their members for money claims or any other claims sa NLRC. So question, can the union file a case before the NLRC for its member money claims? The La Carlota case, pwede. Pwede silang mag-file kasi siyempre kung ikaw individual member ka lang, hindi ka binabayaran ng tama, hindi ka binabayaran ng benefits, 13th month, holiday, etc. etc. Natatakot kang mag-file ng kaso sa kumpanya, dun sa boss mo, kasi baka pag initan ka, baka tanggalin ka. So, the union in your behalf can file the said case before the NLRC. So aside from asking for a CBA, the principal role of a union is to protect its members, and this protection includes the filing in behalf of its members money claims before the NLRC. So pwede silang mag-file. But is there a limitation on that function? Is there a limitation on that role? Is there a limitation on that authority? Yes. Pwede nilang i-file yan, pero hindi nila pwedeng i-compromise. The union who file a case before the NLRC for in behalf of its individual members, it cannot waive a judgment award without that authority of the member. It can file a complaint even without the written authority of the member, but it cannot compromise the case. It cannot waive a benefit. It cannot waive a claim without the written authority of the member. So, what do we mean by this? Ipapile nila, but they cannot compromise. They cannot enter into a compromise agreement without the written authority of the member. A judgment in the kaisahan ng manggagawa case, a judgment based on compromise agreement which is not authorized by the member does not bind the individual members who are not even if though it is his maski na kaso niya yon. So kailangan talagang merong authority for a compromise agreement. A judgment based on compromise agreement without the authority of the employee concerned is not valid, is not binding upon that employee. Although pinail yan nung union in his behalf. Question, can employees in a non-profit organization, FJA, ano nga yung FJA? Sabi natin, form, join, and assist union. Yan yung basic rights ng mga employee to form, join. One of the basic rights, Magna Carta, to form, join, and assist unions. Magic words, FJA, form, join, assist union. Can employees in a non-profit organization, religious organization, charitable organization, wala nang kinikita to eh. Magpo-form, join, and assess union pa kayo dito, mag-union pa kayo dito, mag-CCBA pa kayo dito. Non-profit nga ito. Well, by specific provisions of the law. Employees can form, join, and assist union in all companies, in all juridical entities, in all business establishment, whether that establishment entity is being operated for profit or not. So, yun. Diba? Kasi nga, yung ibang kumpanya, dinideclare non-profit, non-stock. Pwede ba yun para hindi sila magkakaroon ng union? Hindi. Diba? Tapos dadayain nila. Kukulambatin nila yung pera. Sabi nila non-stock, non-profit. Pero totoo, tinataasan nila yung sweldo ng mga board of trustees, yung mga allowance ng board of trustees, yung salary ng CEO o ng presidente. Para in effect, non-profit nga, pero doon naman nila binibira. Doon naman sila kumikita. Now, managers and supervisors, i-discuss natin later on what is a true manager and what is a true supervisor. A manager, yung how do we know a manager? So briefly, he gives benefits, he fires, he hires, he makes rules and regulation, and he dismisses. Yun eh. So, ang manager, depende yan, it really not depends on the moniker or the name, the nomenclature, manager ka, manager ang tawag sa'yo. Pero ang tanong, do you give benefits? Do you fire? Do you hire? Do you make rules and regulations? Do you make decisions in the operation? Kung kahit na manager ang tawag sa'yo, as we will be discussing later, if you're not doing this, yung BF ko yung HRD, boyfriend ko yung HRD, he gives benefits, he fires, he hires, he makes rules and regulations, he gives makes decision, BF ko yung HRD, you are a manager. Kung hindi mo yan ginagawa, maski na manager ang tawag sa'yo, warehouse manager ka, if you do not manage people, we will be discussing this later. You are not a manager. Now, how do you distinguish a manager from a supervisor? Supervisor, he merely recommends. He merely recommends the giving of benefits, the firing, the hiring, the making of rules and regulations, the making of decisions. Pag nagre-recommenda lang siya, hindi siya mismo ang nagdidesisyon kung anong benefits, kung sino tatanggalin, kung sinong papapasukin, kung ano yung rules and regulations, kung ano yung mga decisions. Kung nagre-recommend lang siya, supervisor lang siya. And a supervisor, siya yung nagsasabi kung ano yung gagawin. He tells the people, the employees, what to do. So, supervisor siya. So, di-discuss natin yan. But before we go into that, yun nga, ang rule is that you have to distinguish a manager and a supervisor because supervisors can, FJA can form, join, and assist union on their own, but a manager cannot form, join, assist union. Pag manager ang nag-FJA, pag manager ang form, join, assist union, ULP yan, unfair labor practice. So, pag supervisor, they can form a union of their own, but hindi sila mag-FJA together with the rank and file. 'di ba? Mag-FJA sila on their own. Oh, apat tayong supervisor dito tayo, mag-union tayo. Dalawa tayong supervisor dito, mag-union tayo. Pero hindi sila pwede sumama doon sa 1,000 rank and file employee. Ngayon, the question in the bar as I observe it is dito umiikot. Disqualified ba si employee to o hindi? Umiikot yan on the ascertainment or the determination kung yung employee na yan is a manager or supervisor. So, alamin nyo talaga, take note of yung boyfriend ko yung HRD. Anyway, we will be discussing this later kung sino talaga yung manager at sino talaga yung supervisor. So, bakit ang manager ay hindi pwedeng mag-FJA, cannot form joint assist unions, Bakit? Kasi 3 reasons. Magic words, SLD. Ano yung SRD? Ito yung magic words na ginagamit palagi ng Supreme Court decisions. When they decide on dismissing cases involving managers and whether they can join FJ in a union. SLD managers, sabi nila, are presumed to side with the interest of the company. Yung S, yung ano niya, yung kilya niya, he is presumed to side with the interest of the company. Ang kinakampihan ng manager is yung interest ng kumpanya. Manager siya. Mas malaki yung sweldo niya. In fact, you can dismiss managers by reason of trust and confidence, meaning ang managers, they are repose of trust and confidence. So, SLD, managers side with the company, side with the interest of the company. Yung L, sabi ng Supreme Court, their loyalty is questionable. Insofar as the rank and file are concerns, their loyalty is questionable. They side with the company and yung loyalty nila questionable. And yung D, insofar as the rank and file are concerned, they have a moral ascendancy over the rank and file. And they have a moral ascendancy over the rank and file. And their membership in or their FGA in a union may lead to a company-dominated union. Company-dominated union, ayun yung D. Kaya SLD, they side with the interest of the company. Their loyalty is questionable. And D, it may lead, their membership in a union may lead to a company-dominated union. So, yun yung rason ng Supreme Court, magic words. So, manager, supervisors. But there is another type of employee, yung confidential employees. Again, we will be discussing who are confidential employees, but for purposes of this segment of the discussion, let me ask, can confidential employees, can they join unions? Can they FJA? Can they form, join, assist unions? Can confidential employees, if they form FJA, if they form, join, assist unions, cannot they be charged of ULP, unfair labor practice? Well, it depends. Note that the two kinds of confidential employees. The first kind of confidential employees are those entrusted by the company of company funds or properties. Ano example nito? Yung mga cashier, warehouse man, payroll master. So, yun yung mga confidential employees. Pag ikaw pinagkakatiwalaan ng pera, pinagkakatiwalaan ng propiedad ng kumpanya, confidential employee ka. But can you FJA in a union? Oh. So, yung second kind of confidential employees, are those employees who assist managers, who assist the president or the vice president in the implementation of rules and regulations, implementations of policies for purposes of running the company. So, confidential employee rin yon. Ang example niyan is yung mga sekretarya nung presidente, sekretary nung ex-HR manager. So, kung if a question is asked of you in the bar, are confidential employees barred or prohibited from FJA in a union? Do not rely on the title or position or the name. There are two important elements. First is that do these employees act in a confidential capacity in effectuating management policies in the field of labor relation? They act in a capacity which has an effect on policies in the field of labor relation. Another is that, do they assist a person who formulates and implement managerial policies in the field of labor relations? There is a field of labor relations between the employer and the employee. And even though the employee is a rank and file employee, kung yung trabaho niya has an effect in the field of labor relations, either as a person who assists a president, a vice president, an HR manager, o siya yung tumutulong sa paggawa ng mga rules and regulations that has an effect in labor relation, then that confidential employee is considered as an employee who is not supposed to FJA in a union. Not all confidential employees are precluded. Ang key consideration is that with that the position of that employee must give the union an undue advantage. His position is such that it gives him access to information that the union can use. So, para lang mas madali, cashier, confidential employee. Bakit siya confidential? He keeps money in behalf of the company. But if cashier siya, confidential employee, is she or is he precluded from FJA? He is not precluded. Walang kinalaman sa pagpapatakbo ng kumpanya yung pagiging cashier niya. Pero yung secretary to the boss, yung secretary to the vice president, secretary to the HR. So, ranking file siya, confidential employee, she is precluded to FGA. Warehouseman, rank and file employee but confidential. Siyempre, pag warehouseman ka, talagang you are entrusted with company properties. But may kinalaman ba yung pagiging warehouseman mo sa pagpapatakbo ng kumpanya insofar as labor relations is concerned? Wala. And so is the payroll masters. So dahil maski na sinasabing confidential employee sila, but they have the performance of their function has no way affect labor relations in a company, they are not precluded to FJA.